Okay, let's talk about Papa Archeron for a minute. I know this isn't the theory that I was supposed to do this week, and I'm sorry, but um, I was watching some TikTok videos that someone from my group chat sent me, and there's all sorts of theories about him and Mama Archeron and all this stuff. And I think one of the biggest ones is that either Papa Archeron or Mama Archeron were Fae or half Fae, or at least part of a Fae bloodline, and I believe that's completely true. I think Papa Archeron was half Fae like Miriam, and somehow protected by the human lands. I know we don't know a lot about their history, but that's what I think anyway. Especially because in book 1, Tamlin shows up to the manor to collect Feyre in beast form, not in Fae form. The treaty was about the wall, so there was really no stipulation or no real reason that he had to show up in beast form to, like, terrify them all. But I think that he did this because if he had gone in his male form, that Papa Archeron would have recognized him. I think when Papa Archeron went to, do his job, be a merchant and all that, often visit Prythian to do his trading and his merchant stuff, and I think that they allowed him in because he was half Fae, so Prythian is technically his home as well as the Mortal Lands. And I think this theory actually really stacks up because if you remember what the treaty was about, it was basically the wall and how the wall went up between the humans and the Fae, and the Fae gave the human queens the power to winnow as part of that trade and all of that. But Papa Archeron was also close to Vassa, which not a lot of people like to talk about either. But why would he be close with Vassa? Why would he be close with the Mortal Queen? Because he needed to get her permission to go back and forth from the Mortal Lands to Prythian for his job. And he got permission to do that because he was half Fae. So technically he's mortal, he belongs to the Mortal Lands, and he's Fae, so he also belongs to Prythian. I've said this before and I'll say it again, but another part of my theory is that he was one of the traitors that Rhys held the minds of during the curse to not remember Valaris or the Night Court and such like that. And I think everything. Also, not for nothing, but I'm just throwing in my theories and thoughts in here too, is that I think that Papa Archeron had some sort of seer power, like Elaine, whether it was through his own scrap of magic from being half Fae, or whether my other headcanon is that he had a mate that was a seer and she was sending visions through the mate bond. Either way, I think that he knew all of his daughters were going to end up in Prythian and made it to Fae. Because if he was half Fae and Mama Archeron also has Fae ancestry, I think her cousin is Fae, and that's why she didn't answer Nesta's letter. But if their parents both had Fae heritage, then that would explain why they all kind of ended up with Fae mates. But yeah, I think he knew what was going to happen to all of them, knew what was going to happen to him, and basically if he had done anything differently, if he had actively tried to be a better father or tried to hunt and didn't let Feyre do any of that stuff, the future that he saw from the visions wouldn't have come true. At least I like to think that way, because the only other thing is that he was neglectful, and